There's a dad in our neighborhood who you'd play horse with him, and if you lost the letter, instead of losing the letter, you had to kiss him. I remember being like,
"Okay, bro, that's
I remember
illegal, bro."
No shit. But back then, you just didn't know. You're like, I gotta kiss his dad.
Would you kiss him lips or small of his back?
I don't remember. I want to say on the cheek, but maybe sometimes on the lips. I don't remember.
Oh, damn, dude. That's even gay. Is that gay or just fucked up?
I don't know. I remember you definitely did not want to miss shots. It really made competition fucking intense.
Bro, his team shot 70% from 3-point range.
I remember he'd make a shot and everybody would be like, fuck, get the chapstick out. I wouldn't mind doing a residency in Vegas.
Really? How does this fucking end, though?
Oh, not good.
And we're talking...
Same way Ralphie's ends.
We did, I know, dude. Damn, little Ralphie, that's what they would call it.
Oh, my God.
What if the last special you did was just like Ralphie May? That was the name of it. Dude.
Oh, man.
And you looked just like Ralphie, like you were that crazy.
Dude, I feel guilty now. I mean, I know that had nothing to do with this, but me and him were on a cruise ship right before we passed, like a few months before we passed.
Does he sleep in the middle of a ship? He has to sleep in the middle of a cruise ship. At 600 pounds or 500 pounds? You couldn't sleep on the side of the cruise ship, could you?
He was sleeping a lot that trip. I was a fan of you on Road Rules.
Yeah.
I thought you should be a comic when I first saw you on Road Rules. Do you remember me telling you that story?
Yeah, I remember you telling me your wife thought I was cute.
Yeah. She definitely thought you were.
Not offense that I didn't hear what you said, but I mean, like, you know, I was a 22-year-old kid. I was like,
no,
that's more exciting.
Because I've never been around anybody that has had that much of an impairment that wasn't like, I had a friend that didn't have any legs and he didn't do that much. And then I had another lady that I think was just lazy when I was growing up, and she also was taking care of a kid, a black child.
Yeah.
And both her and her husband were white and they were pretending like it was their child to everybody. Even though the lady that swept at his school bus was black, Miss Tilly.
Really?
And it was obviously her child. And we'd go over there and it was the weirdest thing. It'd be like, this is our son Boogie. And it would be like, and dude, they had him dressed up like a little cowboy and shit, like to make him just seem even whiter. Dude, no joke, I remember this little Boogie, he'd have on these red boots and he would do this little fucking dance by the door when you went in. And it was like, what? Like, even I know that you can't get a black kid out of two white people no matter how hard you try.
Joe's like that with putting out 2 podcasts, 3 podcasts a week.
He does that many a week. Wow.
Joe's got this game locked down.
How's he to talk to? He just started kind of like, well, give me a little bit more FaceTime,
He's great. He's great.
You see, he doesn't believe in Jesus Christ, does he?
I don't think so.
Yeah. But that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
Yeah, he might not believe in Jesus Christ, but
I mean, I think he believes.
And I'm drinking out of his mug right here. Look,
I think he believes in a higher power. I mean, he's done DMT, so he's spoken to the aliens.
Really?
I mean, I guess ultimately, I'm just in the fucking game. I'm locked in.
Yeah,
man,
it's so
I'm
scary.
Face tatted up in prison.
Yeah, dude. You're like fucking you're like Nabisco Malone.
I wouldn't mind.
And that was a post Nabisco joke. A lot of people won't get that.
That was good.
Thanks, man.
And now there's cats jumping you.
I tried to learn French once to get a woman back. I made a boat out of clay for a woman once.
I made a mixtape for Leanne.
You did?
Dude, she dumped me. She
Boat's
dumped
harder.
me. The N word. First time I ever heard the N word, I was in first grade, and these black kids came into our neighborhood. We lived in like a poor white neighborhood, and there was a poor black neighborhood, and like across Nebraska, or not Nebraska, I forget.
Well, dude, that's pretty far then. If you're thinking,
no, that was the street name, not the.
Oh, right on, bro.
Yeah, and so
I'm like, damn, this dude did not live by black people. He said they fucking lived a state away.
So
I'm like, wow.
They were in Nebraska and we were in Florida, and it was scary, man. I gotta be honest with you, it was touch and go at times.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
I mean, we heard stories.
Oh yeah, the rumor mill. I saw a note in a bottle one time in the river. It was crazy.
Watch out for the blacks. Yeah. They're coming, and then you look over your shoulder real quick.
Yeah.
These black kids lived across this main street from us, and then they came into our neighborhood, I guess, and stole my football. My football had a Duke Jr. with a shoelace, a tan shoelace as the string, because we used to play in the street. And so the string for the shoelace ripped. My dad replaced it with a tan shoelace. It was very distinguishable, and a little part we couldn't tie it, so there was a little like part of the shoelace sticking out. Yeah. So they came into our neighborhood and they asked if they wanted to play us some football, and they had my football. And these two brothers, Daryl and Darren, were like, yo, they must. I mean, when I remember this story, I feel like they were 18, 17. They're probably just like 10 and 11.
Yeah.
And I was 6.
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, this is football. And they were like, no, this is his football. This other little black kid. And they're like, fight him for it. And I was like, I'm first grade. I was not fighting anyone. I was wearing a loincloth and knee-high moccasins.
Oh, yeah.
And so...
Damn, he's fighting your sexuality, bro, at that time.
My dad's like, get him some knee pads. He's going to be sucking dick. So...
Yeah. And he's going to need knee pads to do it. What a pussy. That's the crazy part, man. What about the good old days, man? When you would suck dick with no
your knees
pads.
and you suck a dick. Be a man about it.
Yeah, bro. Support the union. You freak.
What kind of gay guy puts on knee pads?
Yeah, dude.
Suck a dick like a man, man.
A backup gay dude. That's
Do you mind if I pull my socks up? I drive them around campus in like a K car. Do you remember a K car? Pull up a K car, can you? It was like the fucking biggest beater you could ever have.
Yeah.
I think it's called a K car or a Q car. It's like an old. Yeah. That was it.
Oh yeah, Renault. That's a Renault, isn't it? Chrysler K.
That was what we, but it was white, and man, what would happen is you knew if the black chicks called on a Saturday night, because it was just taking people to the library is where you're supposed to go.
Okay.
But if the black chicks called on a Saturday night, you knew they wanted to go to FAMU from Florida State.
Okay.
And we weren't allowed to drive to FAMU, but once they got in the car, you had to take them wherever they went. So what would happen was they go, we have a pickup at Debney Hall. Based on 111, I have a pickup at Debney Hall. Her name's LaQuisha, and you go, okay. You'd be like, how many passengers? And like, just one. That's what they say. And so you'd pull up, and then she'd like wave to you, and you go, hey. And as she waved, they'd pile in the other side of the car, and she'd get in. They go, we're going to FAMU, bitch. I loved it though because I love hip hop. I remember you tell us stories, and me and Donnell would be doubled over, and you didn't understand why they were funny.
Yeah.
Do you remember the story about when you were a kid? You were made a lemonade and vodka, and you took your dad's car.
Yeah.
And you went to Thomasville, but you got lost, so you decided to go home, and you got pulled over.
Oh yeah, I got pulled over by the cops.
Wait, the cop said,
He goes, where are you going? I was heading to a party and we couldn't get there, right?
Yeah.
And he said, where are you going? And
you were
at that point, we were on my way back home.
Yeah, so you said.
So I said Covington, because that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, where are you coming from? And I said, Covington, because that's where I'd left from, dude. And it was an honest story.
But you weren't trying to be funny. You just told us.
I was just telling the dude the truth, man.
And we were laughing so hard.
When did you guys start making love, or you'd already been making love?
No, we'd already been making. Yeah, we had sex probably like 5 dates in. This is back during Sex in the City. Do you remember that Sex in the City run where all guys thought all girls were whores?
Mm-mm. I remember thinking that though, just even looking on Instagram. So
there was a period where women were like, and I think it's still there, but like Sex in the City came out and women were like, yeah, I like to fuck. And,
I could see that. It's like now we're in control of our own pussies.
And that scared the shit out of me because I've only had sex with 6 people. Women.
Right.
Why am I saying people? Women.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
Adult women, too.
Adult women. Here's the thing. Once I get a disease, all I got to do, clean my lifestyle up, and I think I can deal with it.
Okay, 2 other diseases you think you could beat?
What's something with your eyes?
Optimization?
I could definitely optimize.
What is that?
I think that's just a word.
It's just getting better.
Yeah. I could beat the gout. Easy.
Yeah, gout's easy. That's just shrimp. Too much shrimp and fucking not enough elbow movement. But it affects millions across the South. I grew up in the gout belt, dude. Everybody had gout.
But and I went fishing one time. Sometimes we'd go get like lunch meat or whatever and go fish, right?
Yeah.
Well, one time these white kids are walking across this. Literally, these standby mirrors are going over this train track over this water where we're fishing down by the river, and they start throwing rocks at us and calling us the N-word.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to yell to them, I'm not the N-word, you know?
Guys!
Well, like,
Guys, are you colorblind?
just one of us.
Just him!
Yeah.
I'll back off!
And Devin, my buddy Devin, is dying that I'm trying to, like, because I think I'm mildly doing it to entertain him, you know?
Yeah.
So it was, but at the same time, dodging rocks from these racist kids who obviously have poor eyesight, you know? I really feel like I grew up in the stray animal belt of Louisiana, and they don't really have this anymore because everybody has pets now. But they had a long time where there was just, I felt like thousands of strays running around. Like Joey Diaz, he got bit by animals. I got jumped by a bunch of cats on my birthday once, dude. I'm not even joking, dude. And one of them, I swear to God, some of them got me on the ground, and one of them came off a fucking rooftop from next door. I swear to God, I still remember a couple of them were getting me and looking back and seeing one come from something in the air. And they had tons of stray animals where I was from. You had to infuse that in everything you did, wherever you went, or if you were going to bike or play ball.
I got jumped by a bunch of
Cats. And that'll make you feel like a little bitch, too. I mean, first of all, your dad's dying.
As a kid, I thought jacking off meant you were gay. Like, I didn't know that meant that you just were a regular person.
Right.
And so I lived with that until I was 18 years old.
You were jerking off thinking you were gay, though.
I just thought I must be gay. I can't stop. I must be one of those weird gay guys that's only attracted to women because I'm only jacking off to chicks and I'm hooking up with chicks. I had sex with a chick, but I can't quit jacking off. And then we got into our fraternity and they said something about jacking off. And I was like, hold on, you guys do that? And they're like, everyone does it. And I was like, where the fuck was this open and honesty?
Yeah.
Like, where was this my whole entire fucking life?
And they call it jacking off with the word, like a name Jack in it.
No, that's when they started calling it rubbing one out. Oh, everyone
really?
rubs one out. Yeah. And I was like, rubs one out. And they're like, yeah, you know. And I was like,
Dude, Eddie Bravo said people would just used to say play with themselves.
Yeah.
And it was totally normal. What's going on today, man? I'm probably gonna just, have some Kool-Aid and maybe play with myself or maybe, get a new harp or something.
Tulane University had their primate testing facility in our town. That's where most people worked at, right? So, and in 1994, like 70 infected monkeys got out in our town, and the police came to YMCA summer camp and let the oldest kids leave to help them look for these monkeys, right?
are you serious?
Yeah, and I remember like guys, they had guys with like rebel flags in their truck. I'm like, it's not a racial thing, guys. These are fucking 70. These are chimpanzees and macaws that are loose around town. This isn't a gang that's moved in. But I remember me and a couple of other kids. I still remember having a wet bathing suit on, cornering a fucking chimpanzee outside of a Kenny Rogers Roasters with a police officer and 3 other kids, like, rah, 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 by this drive-through. And this fucking fat elf of a woman honking at us like we're ruining her, dream shake she's buying or whatever and her fucking cornbread while we're trying to fucking save our town from a fucking... Who knows what this monkey had?
From a
maybe
fucking
yellow
Planet
fever.
of the Apes apocalypse.
Yeah, maybe something Walter Reed missed. Could have been yellow fever.
I thought she hated me, and I got naked with her in a tub.
Oh,
you got naked in the tub, too. It was me, you, and Red. Remember that?
Fuck no, I don't.
Yes, you do. We were up for elimination. We had gotten granted immunity on the banana challenge.
Yeah.
Talk about racist. They have pictures of Lunell's face, open mouth, and we had to put bananas in it.
Yeah.
Fucking bananas in it. Like, it had her looking like, and we were just shoving bananas down her throat, and we got immunity, and our prize was we got to take a bath with Lunell.
Yes.
And I remember Lunell was like grabbing all around, and I was like, I'll take my fucking pants off. And I took my pants off, she took her panties off, and we're all in the tub. And I remember the president of Comedy Central at the time, Lauren Correo. Lauren Correo?
Yeah, that was her.
Was
Laura? Yeah.
I can't remember.
Correo's right.
Correo, she was waiting out, she was watching like in Video Village, and I'm naked pressing my dick against the shower window, and she's like, we can't use any of this.
I was doing a college show somewhere. This is like 10 years ago. And afterwards, I was drinking at a house right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know the house was on campus, but the police show up and they say this house is technically on campus. It didn't look like it was on campus at all. It was like a regular house.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a dormitory or like a quadruplex or anything like that. So the cops came, took me to jail, right? And there was this girl I was flirting with, and I was like excited, maybe I get to hook up. Well, anyway, I get back to the hotel where my buddies are staying in the morning. The girl slept over. She hooked up with my buddy, right?
Yeah.
And he had broken both of his. He had 2 broken arms though. So my other buddy had to hold him up while he was fucking her. He got on top of her, but then my other buddy, who was real strong, like Adonis, leaned over and just held him up the whole time by his chest. So he could just dangle his arms, because my buddy was on top, he could just dangle his arms and still have sex. And then me and the girl ended up having sex, dude. And she had the darkest bush I've ever seen in my life. Oh. And it was 3 or 4 inches long, and it was straight. She was black. She was African American, but just kind of in the pussy. And it was just the hair was just very, it was more of African type of hair, And it was just so exciting. It was such an exciting time.